kapag tayo ay nasa executive session at gumagawa ng batas. At we are not in the proceeding or in the inquiry in aid of legislation. We have to also protect our members in the House of Representatives, also our government officials from the BIR. Nagkaso na po sa AMLA report, so wag na po natin idagdag ang mga kaso at protektahan natin ng ating batas at ang ating mga kasamahan. Wag na po sana natin ipilit na buksan ng mahiwagang box na ito, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Matibag. Now we recognize the Honorable Deputy Speaker J.J. Suarez from the 2nd District of Quezon.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, in the last hearing, ako po yung nag-move para i-table muna ang pagbubukas nitong mahiwagang green box na ito. Lahat naman po tayo gusto po natin malaman kung ano po ang nilalaman at kung ang nilalaman po ba nito ay makakatulong sa atin para makarating sa isang tamang desisyon pagdating sa pagdedetermine ng probable cause. Napakinggan ko po ang posisyon ng maraming mga legal luminaries natin na kasama natin ngayon dito sa ating hearing. At sa palagay ko po, legally, may sapat na po tayong dahilan para buksan yan at malaman. Ngunit maging practical din po dapat tayo. Sa simula po ng justice hearing, nakailang kaso na po ang sinampa ng kampo ni Vice Presidente sa Supreme Court, sa Quezon RTC, para lang pigilan po ang proseso ng pag-usad ng impeachment complaint. Ang masakit po dito ay ilan sa ating mga kasamahan tulad ni Congressman Percy at meron siyang mga batchmates na binanggit pa kanina ay nakasuhan pa nung isang araw. So I would rather heed to the call of the chairwoman who has always decided to proceed with caution. Because for all we know, opening this box, although we do believe has enough legal basis, might trigger another petition in the court to again stop the proceedings. So sa akin pong palagay at pananaw, Madam Chair, ang posisyon ko po, pag tayo po ay magbobotahan, sa Senado na lang po natin buksan tong mahiwagang green box na to. Tapos doon na lang po magkaalaman. Ang mahalaga para sa ating lahat ay may pagpatuloy po natin ang proseso ng na malaman natin kung meron pong sapat na batayan ang impeachment complaint laban sa Vice Presidente. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, D.S. Suarez. Next is the Honorable Janice Degamo from Negros Oriental 3rd District.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It has been said by so many already regarding the whether or not to open the box. But hearing DSJJ Suarez said, we have to proceed with caution. And I would like to reiterate na truly, if we are to proceed with caution, we have to remember the limitations of our procedure today. First, the procedure we are doing today is not in aid of legislation. It is an impeachment procedure. Second, it has to be in an executive session, which is also not happening. And thus, since I am not a lawyer, I would like to stick to what is being said and let the next stage proceed. Sa Senate na lang po siguro talaga. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you. Next is the Honorable Congressman Lordan Suwan from Cagayan de Oro 1st District.
Madam Chair, I would have to ask what is the direct connection between the ITRs of the Vice President and Attorney Manscarpio and the articles of impeachment? Because the articles charge confidential funds, irregularities, threats, SALN violations, destabilization, and none of these are proven or disproven by a personal income tax return. The ITR adds marginal evidentiary value at most. Actually, hindi po ako tutol sa transparency. Tutol po ako sa pag-bypass ng protection ng batas na nakalatag mismo doon. Kung gusto natin tingnan ang ITR, may paraan po. Executive session, Section 71, which requires the permission of the President himself, may mga safeguards. Hindi natin sisirain ang batas para patunayan ang isa pang batas. And of course, there's a basic rule of statutory construction, Madam Chair. Express enumeration excludes the unmentioned. And the exceptions do not mention impeachment at all. So the statute, when it was amended in 2010, had every opportunity to insert, quote unquote, or upon order of either the House of Congress or either House of Congress in aid of legislation or upon order of the House Committee on Justice in impeachment proceedings. Hindi nilagay eh. So I believe the omission is deliberate and exclusive. Madam Chair, if there are still uncertainties as to the legal basis and necessity of opening this box, then I think it would be imprudent for us to open it at this stage. These are protected by law, and any disclosure must be clearly and unquestionably authorized, not based on assumptions or discretion.
So you are joining the position of Honorable De Lima?
No, I am against
You are
the
not
position.
to open.
Yes,
Okay.
Madam Chair.
Next is the Honorable Chel Jokno from the Akbayan Party List.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First of all, to be clear, ako'y naniniwala na may kapangyarihan ng Committee on Justice na buksan yung kahon na yan. But to me, the crucial question is, kailangan ba natin buksan? The question is in relation to the determination of probable cause. And if we are talking about probable cause, para sa akin ay nandyan na ang ebidensya. Sapat na yan para makapag-determina na tayo kahit hindi natin bubuksan yung kahon na yan. Meron pong kasabihan sa batas sa ex abundante cautela, with extreme caution. And out of the abundance of caution, I believe that it would be more prudent for us to leave this to the Senate to decide whether to open the box or not. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Kong Chel, you're not joining the position of Kong Laila.
For once, I think
For
we
once.
have some disagreement.
That is for the record, for once. For the first time. Split decision. Now let us proceed to recognize the Honorable Sara Ilago.
Maraming salamat, Madam Chair. This representation from Gabriela Women's Party